My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to SpellRogue. It's time to dive into Hazel's second loadout. Hazel's loadout B here has the signature spell, The Beast Within. On a countdown of 3 for 2 times a turn, it rolls a 5 or a 6, so this upgrades the size of a die. There's also Rampart, which is on a 5 or a 6, gain 5 block 2 times a turn, and then Boulder Toss, a 7 countdown, 2 charges, and can deal 8 damage. Okay, so I imagine we're going to be maximizing effects of countdowns and maximizing the size of die consistently over the course of this. Let's do it. Of course, until it starts killing me consistently, I'm not going to stop climbing these mutations. So let's go for stage number 4, which I believe had a difficulty modifier of 10? Woof. Yeah, that's 10. Cataclysm. At the end of the 4th turn, receive 30 damage. Woof. Drought, negative 50% gold from combat. Every 3rd turn, remove 1 charge from all spells. Every 3rd turn, receive a fumble. Sorry, on turn 3, receive a fumble, rather. I'm tempted to take Cataclysm and just try and find a way to either big block it by the time it comes up, or kill too quickly for it to be a problem. I'm actually really intrigued. The end of the 4th turn. So on turn 3, receive 1 sap and receive a fumble. Probably doesn't want to go with that. Wait, at the end of the 4th turn. Okay. Maybe it's not that bad. Let's take Diminishment as well. Remove 1 charge from all spells on the 3rd turn. And we'll begin. This is going to be a harder set of modifiers than often I've taken before. So, we'll see how it goes. Choose a starter artifact. We have the Granite Orb. Apply 2 days to all enemies on round 1. So that means for the next 2 rounds, they're going to do 33% less attack damage. Stoneheart Amulet. At the start of combat, gain 2 Blessing. Next turn, all dice rolled get +2 to their initial value, up to a maximum of 6. And then finally, the Shimmering Totem enchants a dice with Glimmer. And when a dice with Glimmer is used in a spell, it gives +1 to the value of another spell. I think I go with Stoneheart Amulet because I'm just going to want to roll high. I'd love to do some blessing stuff. Okay, I'll try and see if I can get the 2 elite path here, but I suspect that 2 elites is probably a bad idea with these modifiers. Okay, I'll do 8 damage to you and get 6 towards doing the next. Which does give me the ability to get killed by just investing the rest of my die into 2 more attacks in the next 2 turns. Volatile Concoction, that's going to be very important. Deals damage to all enemies equal to the total value of unused dice. That's going to help me push through fights. Preemptive Strike. Deal 10 damage. If the target is attacking, apply 1 marked, which means they'll take 50% extra damage for a turn. I can upgrade it to do more damage or give me the ability to cast it more times, or to apply more marked. Also, Hurl Monolith. Just a larger individual hit. That'd be a good way to kind of push through a couple of these fights, maybe. I do think I need a second attack spell. But right now, Preemptive Strike isn't really that good. Yeah, it is. It is. It's good enough. I was thinking of re-rolling there, but I don't want to get no aggressive options. That would be a nightmare. Woof. Without Blessing, this would have been an awful round, but with Blessing, my 1s become 3s, and I can use them in Beast Within to turn them into 5s or 6s. They turn into 5s. So I know I'm going to be defending against some of the damage from the back line, and I'm going to be murdering the front liner here. So I'll take 1 damage. Let's preload a preemptive strike for the next turn. All of them lose a charge, unfortunately. There's the preemptive strike. We follow up with a boulder toss for 12 damage on the 7 health enemy and take him out. Woohoo. Cultivate Might. On odd, gain X block. On even, gain X power. I'm not so certain I want something like that. So power and gleaming exterior. These are all a bit slow right now. I'm going to reroll. Revitalize. +1 value to all dice. That will give me the ability to do a lot of damage. Because a lot of the time I'll be able to generate 6s and I can roll over their value, generate some extra dice from Revitalize there. Like this turn. I'll Revitalize, turning these 2 6s into 2 6s and 2 1s. And then I'm going to Boulder Toss 2 times at Backliner, taking them out this turn. So I don't have to defend even. Perfect. Let's gain 5 block. And then just get our 2 attacks closer to being castable next turn. If I do 10 damage and mark the enemy, 8 damage will be enough to kill them. And that'll do it. Preemptive strike. Boulder toss for the total lethal. Morphosis. Deplete another spell, gain a power for each charge removed. I do like the idea of having that as a tool. I'm not going to use it just yet, but as soon as I find a spell that synergizes with that, I'm going to be over the moon. Something that wants to be depleted, please. 30 Void to gain a Void spell. I'm going to pay the gold for the Void spell here. Mana Symmetry, just duplicates a die. Take it. And I'm going to drop it over the top of Boulder Toss. My goal here is to be able to use Preemptive Strike 2 times a turn. Also, I have another Shard. Revitalize could give Blessing. +1 for all the die next turn. Get Mana Symmetry to duplicate twice. I just need to generate as many dice as possible. Perfect. Double dupes a 3. And now we have the ability to do Preemptive Strike 2 times this turn. Actually, even more than 2 times. I can Revitalize. Well, even more than 2 times if I could do it more than 2 times, that is. Oh, the target isn't attacking, so it's not applying any mark. Let's see. Unfortunate. And this is the elite fight. I'm gonna throw the volatile concoction first. Taking out the creeps. And 2 preemptive strikes is enough to take out the Carrion Abomination without losing that much health. Natural Hardiness. Gain 7 block. On turn 1, for free, we just gain 1 Fortify. I'm not against it, I just don't think it really helps me. Odd, I can have that Shatter in order to apply Weak to the frontliner. No, I'm going to reroll here as well. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to take Gaia's Wrath, because it can just straight up use 6s, and I often have those. Cast 10 spells, reroll all dice, or gain a shard. I'm not going to want to reroll all each 10. I can see that actually causing issues for me. I'm going to gain an additional slot, because I'm never really going to be sad that I did that. Will-o'-the-Wisp summons a Ghost Light, which is going to explode next turn. Oh wow, I did not get another 6. Oh, that's fine, I can force another 6 with the Revitalize here. Which is great, because then I can use Gaia's Wrath for 6 damage and a power, and then 7 damage and another power. And I can pre-set up a bunch of damage on the Will-o'-the-Wisp. The rest of the summons, or rather the rest of the units here, are summons, which means that I only have to take the Will-o'-the-Wisp out. Pulverize. Deal 4 damage to the front enemy, then return the dice with -3 value. I actually think that's probably really good for us. Especially if I'm using Gaia's Wrath. Because then I can use big die in either of these, small die in Mana Symmetry, those small die back in Beast Within. I like it. I'm going to take Pulverize. I am going to focus on Gaia's Wrath, typically, so I will actually put Pulverize in there over the Preemptive Strike at this point. We've got a Spike Seed, gain 5 Thorns. I'm going to see if I can take out another Elite, even though I don't have a good potion for it right now. If this has multi-strike, yeah, you're going to strike me 3 times in a single turn? Take 15 Thorns damage, please. I did forget to defend myself at all. That's okay, I'm only taking 6 damage to it. Could be worse. Didn't get another 6 though. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking some more damage this turn, but we will be able to get the Corrupt Abbot down. Excuse me. 13 HP paid. Across the entire floor, that is. Desolation. On a 12, return both of the dice put into Desolation. And it deals X plus X damage, X being each of the 2 dice you put into it, and has 1 charge. Definitely going to be taking that. Tempest. Cast 3 countdown spells. Then, give -3 to the leftmost playable countdown spell, which is usually Beast Within. That's pretty good. Really feeling like the mana symmetry may not have been the right upgrade. We're up against the heart as well soon, right? The heart of the forest, that is. Tempest does seem like it would actually be pretty good for us. It's becoming difficult for me to ignore. Yeah, it's oftentimes just offering a free cast of Beast Within, which is just a free 5 or a 6. I can definitely disenchant a Boulder Toss for 8 max HP here. Move into the boss battle. Yeah, this is something I was worried about. So I can trigger mana symmetry, but I'm going to have to use Pulverize to do so. And I don't want to cast Revitalize as well as 2 Beasts Within this turn, because then it will trigger Tempest, and Tempest will have nothing it can target. I'm going to Revitalize now, just so that I have 2 6s for the Gaia's Wrath. Because I need to have some scaling going on, so I need to get my power going up. And I can Pulverize the front enemy, but that's all I can really do here. Guess I can also throw 2 1s into the Beast Within. Oh, I'm taking 10 damage this turn. Not keen on that. I'm going to put a 1 into Beast Within, and that will trigger it twice. Once from Tempest, once from itself. Thankfully, via Pulverize, I will actually be able to take down the front as well as stun the Heart of the Forest with Gaia's Wrath. But, yeah, next turn I'm taking 30 damage. I don't think I'm ready for that. I feel like I have to start preparing this turn by defending 5 so that I actually have some HP coming to the next turn. I feel like this is going to be a very quick run it back, go to another round, see what's going on there. Okay, let's throw out a Pulverize. And then, in doing so, lower a 6 to a 3, use that 3 in Mana Symmetry to duplicate it twice. We can roll 2 Beasts Within. I even have to use a Gaia's Wrath once. I'll Rampart twice as well. So I'm just taking 30 damage at the end of this turn. Yeah. Okay, so I'll still have 2 health left. So, why was I worrying? I'm gonna have 2 whole health left. Ooh. I didn't even manage to stun the enemy that turn. Thankfully, it should be very easy to stun them this turn. I'm gonna open Mana Symmetry so that I can Pulverize, dupe the 3, and then cast Beast Within twice. I'm just gonna open the Revitalize just so that I can get another Gaia's Wrath out. And in fact, I can follow up with a final Pulverize. Okay, so I actually may leave this floor. I didn't think it was possible. But apparently it is. I get some health back, but not all of it. Some Golden Shard. Crooked dice. Oh no. Roll +1 each turn. And rolled 6s lose 1 value. No thank you. Lightline Focus. Roll an extra die per turn, but all enemies gain 1 power. And then finally Ether Weave. Roll 2 Ethers. 1 to 6. Sorry, 1 to 2. Those lowering the cost of our castables. I think I'm going to take a reroll. I want Leyline Focus most out of these, but I don't want it. Double critical. Roll an extra die each turn. Each turn receive 2 weak. All the Staff of Splintering. The first 3 rolled each turn is split into 3 1s. I don't want 3 1s. I want a 3 so that I can dupe it with the Mana Symmetry. I'm going to go with the Cursed Pendant, and now I wish I had stayed with the previous option instead. I need to find a good defensive option really soon, because my aggressive options are not really stacking up to the degree I would need them to in order to, you know, really push through here. Desolation dealing its damage to all enemies does seem like it'd be really useful. But I'll have to take that upgrade second, I think, here. 2 Imp Fanatics. Both of them have on spell cast. This enemy receives 1 weak. So we want to cast as many things as possible. Yeah, we're now at the point where I don't need to do anything except for just throw damage at the enemy. They'd been weakened well enough. Okay, so casting Beast Within once will cast it twice for us. courtesy of the Tempest. And in fact, because the Tempest is casting a countdown spell, it's ticking up the next trigger of it. It's great. Let's also pop a Revitalize out there while we can. Just setting up the double beast within again next turn. Here's an easy Desolation for the squad. And realistically, I should actually just double defend here. Oh man, I have nothing to do with my low value die. I think I need to change Pulverize for something else. I don't think Pulverize really serves me. Oh boy. Unfortunately, the enemy is multi-attacking this turn, as well as I was deprived of a bunch of charges, so I didn't have the ability to take the enemy out. There's the free Desolation. And that'll do it. Woof! End of that turn, I was taking 30 damage. Gleaming Force. When depleted, gain 1 power. I could also have depleted gain 3 power instead. Which means I could use Morphosis instead of Gaia's Wrath. I could even drop Pulverize if I wanted to take Gleaming Force. So Morphosis I put 9 into. And then I can deplete entirely... One second. There we go. And then I can deplete entirely the Gleaming Force, giving me 3 power, as well as an additional power for Gleaming Force being depleted. And then eventually I can upgrade Gleaming Force to be able to give me additional power when I deplete it as well. Please give me the Lifesteal Ritual. Nope. -7 to a countdown spell? That's the ability to cast Morphosis every second turn, very easily. So I'll take it for that reason. There's a heal after an elite on that side, so I'll go to the left. Berserk Potion, gain 15 Fury. Ooh, if I give you 60 gold though, you'll give me a Crystal Heart. Gain 4 power on turn 1 and 4 drain on turn 1. I don't need extra power on turn 1. Choosing Gate of Void spell. Honestly, I should probably just take the Berserk Potion so that it can try and help me through the elite fight, which I don't suspect I'm going to survive. Oh boy. This one's going to be a toughie. I don't know if I have enough attacks for you. Pop a 3/3 and then a 4 into Revitalize, which will start downgrading the cost of Morphosis. Perfect. So I can put a 6 in Morphosis, gain 4 power by depleting Gleaming Force, and then use a Desolation for 14 damage to the enemy. That returns my ability to defend for 10 afterwards. I mean, it's not awful, but my highest capacity is basically 10 damage a turn, and I can't do multiple instances of damage, so these Jin, the friends, are going to stay on the board during my turn, which is, this is true, a nightmare. I hit the wrong one. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually give me any damage. on the enemy. Yeah, this battle is gonna be the enemy. I don't do any damage to the Jinn this turn. I just damage their friend, and then their friend disappears. And oh boy. I guess I should have just used Gleaming Force for individual damage charges itself. That makes sense. And then it would be the end of this turn. I let that one just resolve without trying to use Gleaming Force. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have started actually trying to use that as an attack when I had a reasonable amount of power. That seems like it's the point of it, the ability to transition betwixt those two. Oh no, we're just over 30 minutes. No. No. We're under 30 minutes as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I'm clicking the button and we're here. On turn 1, receive 4 Rupture, and for each boss defeated, enemies start with 1 power. I'll definitely be fighting uphill against those. Turn 1, receive 2 curse, so next turn all dice lose 2 value. Maybe I do that instead, and then drought and irrecoverable. Just so that escalation doesn't kill me really early on, so I have the adaptation for each boss defeated, enemies start with +1 power, condemnation, on turn 1, receive 2 curse, drought, negative 30% gold from combat, and irrecoverable, reduce non-combat healing by 30%. Also get another start artifact, and I'm gonna go for the stone heart. So I've got 2 curse and 2 blessing on turn 1. I think those will even out. I guess it depends what order they occur in, unless they just cancel one another out entirely. Because there is a floor and there is a roof. Okay, so it lowers them first and then it raises them afterwards, so that's actually way better. Cool. Well, we bit of the beast within. We're gonna be boulder tossing 1, setting up a 2nd. And doing it all again. Trout goes down, victory over this fight, some gold and a spell. Gleaming Mana. Return dice with Glimmer. Or reroll into a 4 to 6 with Glimmer. I'll take Glimmer. And see what we can do with that. If Glimmer tries to give a +1 to a 6 that you already have, it turns it into a 6 and a new die, a 1. So you could see there being a lot of value in that specifically. Perfect. That's all I wanted. The fact that that gave me the ability now to cast Boulder Toss twice this turn confirms my ability to knock out the Living Embers immediately. I need 4 dice in order to complete Boulder Toss twice, assuming it's coming from a base state, specifically because it has a countdown of 7, so a single die can give maximum 6 to this. At least with no additional modifiers like, you know, Tempest or the additional countdown, or there's Manifold, I believe, which a dice can be enchanted with Manifold and it'll give double the effect in a countdown socket, things like that. Oh, perfect, we've done it again. Although this turn I'm gonna defend and then just set up the Boulder Toss for the next turn, but I should be able to double Boulder Toss to take the enemy out this turn quite easily. Look for damage. Looking for damage? Looking for damage. Fortitude. Gain 5 block. When depleted, gain 3 barrier. I do want a spell that gets a benefit from being depleted, because I am often going to try and play into that. The character has the archetype. I'm going to take Fortitude. I'm not really going to use it until I get something like Metamorphosis, something that gives me a benefit for depleting something else as well. Because I'd really want Fortitude to be upgraded. Although that said, currently Fortitude is just a better version of my Rampart, so I'll hardly be too mad about that. Frontline enemy with 2 Boulder Tosses. Some Gleaming Mana. And I can even set up a Boulder Toss, only 1 on its countdown, in order to kill the enemy next turn, so it's impossible to miss. Some gold Azure Potion for +3 value to all dice. Mend Magic. On a 5, add 1 charge to a target spell. Honestly, that does seem good. It just... I just don't know if it helps me. I have to reroll. I need damage somewhere. It's not damage. Sanctify Shell. Gain 2 block. When depleted, roll a 5 or 6. I could also upgrade that to roll 2 5 or 6s when depleted. I'm going to take Sanctify Shell, but I guess I'll use that instead of Rampart, because Fortitude is already Rampart. No! Oh, I thought there was the ability to link back over to this elite from here, but no, there isn't. Okay, so just... I'm no longer going for the multiple elite path I thought I was going for. That's fine. Disenchant Rampart. That'll give us an extra spell. Sorry, an extra 8 max HP. I'm gonna go for the random event just to see what's up. Disenchant a spell, which will give me Gilded Dowsing Rod or 8 max health. I'll go for the 8 max health for the Gilded Dowsing Rod because I don't have a spell that I'm willing to get rid of right now. I do want to go into that elite battle, but I really don't feel comfortable. I'm gonna go in without using a shard. Probably gonna have to pay some HP for this, but that'll be okay. Two 5s in Fortitude gives me some barrier for block at the end of each turn, and I can also charge up my Boulder Dash. mark the enemy. And then, actually, I'm just going to go for 2 more Fortitude and then another Boulder Toss on the enemy. There you go. I won't take any damage this turn. Enemy's not attacking this turn, so I certainly should. Throw a single boulder at you and then hold off for the ability to try and do another. On the next turn, mind. Get 10 block the next time you receive damage. That's fine. Is going to be right now. However, I'm not really going to take too much damage to it. Fortunately, I had to do that all again, and now I will be taking a bunch of damage to the infection. Oh, that extra 2 power. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Health, I can't do that this round. I'm gonna use as your dice. I guess my goal here is to just be able to defend as many times as is humanly possible. We're taking 1 damage this turn. It is possible to kill the enemy next turn at least. Did have to use both of my potions, but hey, it'll be worth it. Yep, here we go. Woof. Primal Craze. Convert block to power and drain. It is unrestorable. So Force of Nature and Carapace. Force of Nature on odd, deal X damage. On even, deal X block. Carapace gains 7 block. Receive 1 tap. I'm gonna reroll here. I don't see Primal Craze being especially good for me. Well, we're given the options of Vitalize and Pulverize. Revitalize, rather, and Pulverize, both of which we saw last run. And then Vine Grip, which we also saw but didn't take. Pulverize at least would give me an attack that can occur multiple times. And if it returns things of lower value, I do have something to do with those at least. Roll 10 die, deal 7 damage to a random enemy for doing so. I'm going to take the shard. I'm going to use one of these to open a slot. Pulverize in. So if Pulverize, I upgrade to do additional damage as well as have a lower value reduction. That means that a 6 used in Pulverize has the ability to be used as a 6 and then a 4, and then it gives me a 2 back. So I can use both charges of Pulverize, get 12 damage out on the front enemy, and then still have a 2 left over. And that 2 can easily go into something like Sanctify. That also gives me the ability to use, if that's a glimmered 6, that gives me the ability to glimmer a bunch of other die by rolling it through pulverize multiple times. I like that. Let's go to a random event. 90 gold would have been enough for an amulet. Oof. Lose 10 max health and I can gain amulets. Split a random dice in 2 every 3rd turn. Sure. Why not? Disenchant spell. I don't really want to do that. Let's see how this one goes. It's not really all together. None of these ones have really been all together, frankly. But I'm happy to try and find them. Okay, give me a 6, please. Thank you. So then I get that 6 returned with Glimmer. I'm going to generate another 6, hopefully with this. It's not a 6, that's fine. I can pulverize the enemy for 6 damage. I'm going to put a 5 into Boulder Toss, then I'm going to pulverize the enemy for another 6 damage, as well as increasing my only remaining die from a 6 to a 6 and a 1. And then I've got the ability to Boulder Toss with my remaining 2 on that Glimmer. Twice. With ease. With ease. I even have 1 left over to throw into a Fortitude. Yeah, that could be a lot worse. Unfortunately, I'm not good at dealing damage to the backliners. Well, one of them has 8 health, so I can kill that with a single Boulder Toss at least. I do feel like I need to Boulder Toss to take out one of those summons rather than letting both of them hit us. And then I'm going to deplete Fortitude, gaining additional barrier. I'm honestly quite likely to actually let the Magma Sun stay around for a while. Throw a 6 into Pulverize when I only have a 6 left, just to generate more die. 6 goes into Boulder Toss. Then if I put this 2, after all of that, into Fortitude, this is really nice, just abusing Glimmer like this. The build isn't strong at all, but it can abuse the hell out of Glimmer, so hopefully that matters. Oh, I really wanted that to be a 6. 6? Thank you. Because then I can actually use my Pulverize to some end. I'm going to take the opportunity to defend some this turn, because I suspect I can kill the Mother of Flames in a single turn with a good roll. Send out Pulverize. Twice. And unfortunately, I'm going to be short on the final boulder toss here. And the enemy is going to have a lot of block next turn. Oof. 12 block. Alright, well I suspect this will be the last turn one way or the other. But I'm pretty sure with the double Pulverize for free, and then the Boulder Toss, we'll be able to take out the Mother of Flames. That's it! That is our win! Gain some health. Let's gain some gold, a shard. And a boss artifact. Roll an extra die each turn, receive 2 weak. No. On turns 2, 4, and 6, roll an even value die. No. Hex robes. No, I don't really want to Vex in this build. That's not at all what I'm about. I'm leaning towards weak. That's each turn. I'm just going to take Balanced Mana Pearl because I don't want to roll and get worse results. Still don't really know what to do with my shards because it really depends on whether or not I find something that synergizes with, you know, Sanctify Shell's depletion or Fortitude's depletion. So I'm still hunting. Devil Spellcaster. They have 1 power. And they are applying 2 power traps, which means there will be 2 value on my die that if I roll them, will power up the enemy. Give me the ability to cast Boulder Toss as well as load it up for a cast next turn. I mean, I am casting 3 attacks per turn at the outset of this, which is still nice. Unfortunately, I gave the enemy 2 power this turn, and if I use Beast Within at all, I will be just giving them more power. Yikes. And they're already seeking to do 18 damage in a single turn, so I don't think they need help. It makes no sense for me to do anything except full defend this turn. 5 damage still gets past. Oh my god, the enemy has multi-attack as well. That's a nightmare for us. Well, without a 6, the Glimmer is certainly a lot worse. Applying a silence trap when rolling dice with this value, enchant it with silence, which will mute a spell when it's used. Got it. There's our Glimmer. It's exactly the kind of thing I want to see. Boulder toss, big second boulder toss. No. Unfortunately, I don't think we're killing that in a single turn. Certainly gonna try though. And it's not possible, so I should defend. Let's go Fortitude. Finish that with the Mute. Only lose 2 health this turn, and then I'll be able to take the enemy out next turn with 2 Pulverizers. I don't even need to worry about it. I was thinking about translating my mana a bunch and then pulverizing, but nope. I already have the ability to throw them out 2 times, and I don't need 6s to do that 6 damage. Okay, Transfigure. Deplete another spell. Gain block for each charge removed. I'll take it. Still not honestly that keen on it, but I'll take it. So for 5, countdown 5 in Transfigure, I can deplete 3 from Fortitude, which will give 9 block, as well as gain an additional 3 barrier. So it's definitely more efficient in terms of resource. Add 1 charge to another spell. Putting that in Gleaming Mana would be really good. My single turn block value is still pretty poor. Okay, 3 6s, love that. Time for some Gleaming Mana Transfiguration stuff. Unfortunately, I'm just short of being able to take out the Plated Grub before it gets any armor. Oh, no incoming damage this turn. Love to see it. Okay, so here we're going to do one of my favorite things with add 1 charge to a target spell, specifically, where I'm going to Transfigure Fortitude, so I'm going to deplete it entirely, even though I don't need to block this turn. Then I'm going to give it another charge, so that I have the ability to deplete it entirely again this turn. So Boulder Toss at that frontline target. Perfect. So now I have 9 block at the end of each turn. This can grow very, very quickly. The incoming damage is not enough to even get past it for me right now. Oh, wow. I'm honestly not going to cast either of these mutes. Well, that's fine. I will actually mute Transfigure on Fortitude there. I think that's fine. There goes the plated grub from the front line. I said that too early, it turns out. All's well that ends well, though. I'll end my turn without taking any damage. Transfigure comes back from its mute. We are cursed, so we can lose 1 value to all, but oh. That's unfortunate. Turn 2 6s into 2 5s. That actually really would have been handy. Alas. So I'm gaining a bunch of barrier to the degree that I'm not really threatened anymore. So little damage to this enemy every turn. Unfortunately, that shade armor is really valuable. Every time I hit it every turn, it becomes tankier and tankier and tankier. I have 18 barrier, which is equal to the amount of damage the Desert Spirit's currently trying to do. Not going to bother muting my spells this turn either, though. Four from Beast Within, looking for 6, looking for 6, got him. Leaving mana, and then the Pulverize, the play we've made many times before. Give Pulverize another charge so that I can perfectly take away the armor of the enemy, and then Boulder Toss against their 5 health for 8 damage, taking them out. Finally, the Shade is dead. Gold, Spike Seed for some Thorns. Mend Magic gives us the ability to do the thing I was just doing. Fleeting Might, gain X power and receive X drain, and then finally Bastion. Gain 2 block, increase the block given by it. I won this combat. I'm gonna take a reroll because I don't think any of those help me. Maul. Deal 6 damage, gain block equal to the unblocked damage dealt. I mean, sure, but I really need some power growth for that to be worth a while. I almost don't suspect I can fight 2 Elite Sis Floor. But it's also the second run of the episode, so I should take risks. This guy hits me 2 times per turn, this Devil Assassin. Casts Malediction on first turn, and then 2 times a turn after that. Ready to cast Maul next turn. Full Transfigure out of Fortitude. Now there's actually no incoming damage. I was thinking about using Fortitude again though. No 60s. Rough. Just means I don't get my full Glimmer chain going off. Next turn, lose 1 die value. Ooh, maybe I should have played the Thorns. The enemy's trying to hit me 3 times this turn. Yeah, I should have played it beforehand. Oops. That's okay, I've got time to now. Gleaming Mana, and it's time for some Pulverizing. I'm gonna gain another charge back in Fortitude, just so that I can exhaust it for even more barrier. There you go, take 15 damage. Could have had them take 10 damage last turn if I'd used the Thorns earlier. I love abusing Glimmer like this. So much value. Maul at the end for some additional damage. Okay, 918. What am I looking for here? 27 total defense myself. The enemy's incoming damage is 23. Cool. Still comfortable then. Just wonder if maybe I should go for some extra damage with my additional charge here. I elect to, giving myself another charge or Pulverize for 6 more damage to the enemy's face. Okay, 10 more damage from Thorns, having casted a turn earlier, wouldn't have actually changed the outcome here. I would still be killing on this same turn, it looks like. And finish it up with them all for fun. Very, very slow still. If there was a good way to gain power in this build, that power would increase the damage of Pulverize, which is, you know, it counts effectively as a free attack, because it's just giving me value for die without actually really costing anything. And then Maul would also be becoming more powerful, because not only is it dealing more damage, but it's also giving us more block. Raptor Strike, Kill Shot, or Flourish. Countdown 12 rolls 2 5s or 6s. I don't want any of these. I'm gonna take a reroll. Morphosis! Hello! Well, there's the power gain. On turn 1, gain Pox Bringer. On applied attack, apply 1 Pox. Okay, so if I attack an enemy 3 times, they will have 3 Pox and they will take 10 damage as a result. Pox Bringer isn't bad. Seems like a pretty good way to actually get some good damage out there on the field. But I also do really need shards still. So here's the thing, Transfigure and Morphosis are both very useful, but after I've Transfigured enough times, I have enough block that I can use Morphosis to deplete Fortitude. So instead of gaining more and more block currently while I'm gaining Barrier, if my Barrier is high enough, I can gain Power while I gain that Barrier. Receive 6 damage would give me Strange Presence. Ooh, lose 19 max health for a shard. I'm taking it. That just gets me down to the amount of HP that I have remaining. Maul could trigger on a single 6 if I wanted, which would make it much more castable. Give Morphosis the ability to grow our power twice as quick. Let's see if I can survive it. Okay, incoming damage this turn is pretty high. That's 18 with an additional 7, 25 total. Transfigure Fortitude first. One short of being able to maul. Yeah, I suspect this fight's going to be a bit too stiff for us. Okay. Okay. I have been waiting for the game to stop me in my shenanigans affairs, and it seems like the game has chosen now to be the time to do so. Fair play. Can actually full block this turn at least. It's nice to see. Try and pre-prepare a maul for the next turn. That's with all of them attacking. Incoming damage this turn is now 31. Oof. which will be enough to kill me. Yeah, I kind of knew as soon as I came into this fight that I'd already bitten off more than I could chew. So I've got to start thinking of my general deck building in this and my construction of hands. Oh, hey, 25 blessing at least. And my construction of general, hands in terms of reasonable output turn over turn. And then I need to have a reasonable expectation of the amount of damage that I need to be able to do every turn in order to get through things, and that I need to be able to block every turn in order to get through things. Because otherwise, when I have a run that's fair, and not just, exploding the enemy with a trillion die, I will struggle, as we have seen in this episode. So for the moment, my name is Rhapsody. We have unlocked a new spell that is Relief. It's a 9 countdown and gains 1 blessing, and then you roll a dice for each blessing that you have. But for the moment, my name's Rhapsody. The name of the game has been SpellRogue. We'll be moving on to Azai in the next episode, but I'm keen to come back to Hazel. I want to understand you, and I want to understand your loadout be better. A special thanks this episode to Dyla. Hopefully y'all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see y'all next time.